Appreciation August is on 1 week early at integrativemysticism.com. From now until the 31st of August 2020, enjoy 20% off all Scarlet Moon services, including gift certificates when you apply the codes on your screen. We are now also accepting tips and donations for those of you who've been requesting that for the last 7 years. You can now leave a tip or a donation at my website, integrativemysticism.com. Hey there, Leo. It's time for your weekly horoscope for the coming 7 days, and just what a week it is. We'll just put it that way. Just on a preliminary scan, it looks like a very, very big week for a lot of you to sort of start setting the record straight when it comes to maybe people or connections or interactions that you've been having, where you kind of find that you've been dealing with folks who are maybe more interested in the idea of you that they have in their heads versus who you really are, or maybe treating you according to the projections that they have of you versus who you really are. And the reason I say that is because the spiritual theme of this week is really cutting to the quick with the King of Swords upright. And there does seem to be this very strong sense of a sort of get it done, transparent, unfiltered engagement where you are doing a lot of correcting of misunderstandings that maybe you've tolerated for a very, very long time when it comes to the perception of you or the perception of what you're all about, but also at the same time what your intentions, what your mission, what your goals, what your ideals are. Some of you may also be, however, needing to do some correcting because maybe you've contributed to some misunderstandings about who you really are. Maybe, again, we've let some of these projections persist for whatever reason, maybe for professional reasons, maybe just to be nice, maybe to be diplomatic. Sometimes we, are afraid to challenge the misconceptions people have about us because we are worried that it may alienate us, or it may create negativity in some way. But this is ultimately a crucial shift for you. And a lot of you are going to be needing to sort of create this new standard of transparency and honesty, especially when it comes to cutting to the quick, especially if you notice things are kind of getting away from you, getting out of your control, because people are acting and treating and working with you and yours on assumption versus a true relationship and a true connection. As we get on to your material priorities, we can talk about work, we talk about money, we talk about your professional life. We have the 9 of Swords in reverse, and definitely a situation where we're going to have to do some crowd control, but also at the same time start clearing up where people are maybe letting a bit of instability or maybe a proneness to swings in judgment ruin good opportunities, because I'm seeing peer pressure, herd mentality, and distractions and drama kind of get in the way of real progress and real service here. Now, sometimes this can happen where we even notice our own teams or maybe even our own self placating to that, treating that almost as though like, no, we are here. Our part of our job is to mitigate this by working with it. The 9 of Swords reverse is saying be very, very careful this week if that's what you're doing, because this might lead to some excess spending. This might lead to making some very bad calls when it comes to maybe answering the anxiety or the monster of the day versus staying on course for the entire journey. In fact, with the peer pressure here, you're going to have to pay attention. There's going to be some misleading information about a certain maybe role or project or career path that might be getting thrown up in your face about either something you're doing or something that you're gunning for. And I'm not sure if it's all hype in terms of maybe boasting itself to be better than it really is, or if it's the opposite, if it is something that is getting, torn down and getting criticized way too much based on, once again, instability and anxiety of another or many others, because these could be clients, these could be customers, these could be coworkers and bosses, business partners, people within your industry. This is a time for a lot of you Leo people, though, to start cutting to the quick and clearing up these misconceptions, because you're not here to serve the instability. And if you're not careful, you'll just end up being a rodeo clown for it. When it comes to your finances, the 9 of Swords reverse is indicating, this is a time to take some money back or some energy back from places where we've been investing maybe our time and energy and spending money to help ourselves grow, because we are seeing the people who are handling it, or maybe the people who are directing it or helping us grow and expand in this way, are actually going to start making some very reckless or very spur of the moment calls due to that panic and herd mentality. Better off back in your hands, okay? As we get on to the community card, we talk about friends and relatives and other people. We have the World card in reverse, and I'm seeing a chance to start over here. Start over with somebody that maybe we got off on the wrong foot with, or we had the wrong kind of friendship, the wrong kind of relationship, the wrong kind of family connection with the right person. And with the World card reversed, as I've always said with this card, we have a chance for do-overs. But in this case, this do-over seems to come in the form of a start-over, which is still, of course, very encouraging. Especially with the King of Swords, now that everyone's being their true authentic selves, as opposed to maybe a representational self or a faked self in any kind of way, even if they were faking with hopeful intentions. As we get on to the personal challenge or your personal lesson for this week, you have the Devil card upright. And the personal challenge here is to avoid the compulsion to satisfy bad influences, or to satisfy the urges of bad influences. And that seems to be what's coming through here. When I say bad influences, I really mean unhealthy influences. I really mean things that are bound to us, things that are already within our life. We talk about bad influences, unhealthy influences. This is where we talk a little bit about that peer pressure stuff again. We talk about the crowds we roll in. We talk about maybe fake friends. We talk about bad business advice. We talk about maybe even unhealthy role models, and we need to start seeing those people for who they really are. Because if we have the urge to please bad influences, in a lot of cases that comes from a place inside where we are trying to earn and win approval. We know there's something wrong, but if we get the approval, then we can, of course, maybe make this situation, this person, or this circumstance change their ways. Your challenge with the King of Swords upright and the Devil is to skip that part entirely. There's nothing that can be redeemed about the behavior or the influences that you're dealing with right now. Those are their own journeys. Those have nothing to do with your actual real path. And it's time with the King of Swords upright to just simply call out where dysfunction is trying to pass off for health and say no. When it comes to your relationships, when it comes to love and romance, well, we've got the Three of Pentacles in reverse. And there's an issue coming up with some misassigned tasks, misassigned roles, bad teamwork. And I'm feeling a lot of this has to do with maybe people projecting expectations of their partner to take roles that a partner really shouldn't do, or a partner should not be asked to take on. Now, this could be mutual, right? We're just working on ironing it out. We can always turn that Three of Pentacles right side up, but there could be some squabbling or maybe some quarreling going on this week when it comes to your love life, as it relates to possibly some challenges around maybe you and a partner trying to get the other person to do something, either A, that, again, a partner shouldn't ask a partner to do, or B, something that, you know, they if it's not something they're good at, if it's not something that they know how to do, if it's not one of their strengths, people shouldn't be forced to do something that they suck at just because of whatever. And so there's a bit of a need to do some teamwork reassigning, teamwork getting in order. And for those of you who are currently looking for somebody new, the Three of Pentacles reverse carries a lot of the same thing. Be careful about maybe letting projections come onto you, or unconscious projections from you, allowing a relationship that really should just be about an equal, equitable partnership, a loving partnership, accidentally become infused with other roles and other jobs that have nothing to do with a true love. So that is your horoscope. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. You know I appreciate it. And should you ever want to get a session, go on ahead to my website. It's integrativemysticism.com.